bit of extra swagger that would put championship gold around their waist. I think Scorpio Sky's experience does just that.
Absolutely, the experience he has, man. Former six-man tag champions, former AEW tag champions. So many things on his regimen that shows you that he's a great wrestler still and has a lot ahead of him and willing to reach back and grab some of the young and up-and-coming talent. Scorpio Sky is a gem.
Look at this collar elbow tie up. Bryan Keith, let's not ignore the fact that he waved off the code of honor. At least he didn't try and kind of sneak attack bully Scorpio Sky like he has some of the younger opponents as of late.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a smart move, especially with someone with the experience of Scorpio Sky. And then with Daniels in his corner, man, you got two brains. You got a brain on the inside and outside the ring. You can't outsmart this one.
Zeta Steel looking phenomenal as well as of late in single competition. Of course, last night, the TNT title on the line on Dynamite. We know Scorpio Sky, part of that proud lineage as well. It's Scorpio Sky rolling through in this high wrist lock here.
Yeah, I see Zeta Steel and I see the Martin brothers, man. I see these as like diamonds in the rough. And you got people like Christopher Daniels and Scorpio Sky to take those diamonds out the rough and polish them up to make them great stars.
And rolling through Scorpio Sky, absolutely. And Daniels has a history of lifting talent up here in ROH, former Grand Slam champion in his own right. The first Ring of Honor major pay-per-view that I called was in the lead seat for was the night Christopher Daniels won the World Championship in Las Vegas, Nevada 9 years ago.
Christopher Daniels definitely one of the cornerstones of Ring of Honor. Pillar.
We're seeing Bryan Keith get a breather here. Smart move to slow down the momentum of Scorpio Sky, who tries to go right back at it with a side headlock here.
And that's the thing about Scorpio Sky. You could try to slow down the momentum or change the pace or dictate the pace, but Scorpio Sky's going to remain the same, and he's going to come in with the same mentality.
Cover.
He's going to grab the center of the ring, and he's going to wait for you. And that's what Scorpio Sky does.
Nice arm drag, holding on, putting the pressure on the bounty hunter Bryan Keith. Fans, AEW remains is international. All in. Mark your calendars, not that far away. All in London pre-sale starts on Monday as we return to Wembley Stadium this August. All the details. Oh, look at this. It is Scorpio Sky. Wow.
Desperation right there. Bryan Keith grabbing at the face and grabbing at the nose. Scorpio Sky was just found the body part and stayed with it to stay in control of Bryan Keith.
And Scorpio Sky goes from the front face lock to the clutch and now into the corner with a big European uppercut. Keith trying to fight back out of it. He does with a big chop that plants Sky.
Yeah, it's a heavy chop from Bryan Keith to be able to knock Scorpio Sky off his feet.
And Keith, who for so long was really the best kept secret in Texas, got an opportunity in Ring of Honor, winning a win and you're in match for survival of the fittest a couple of years ago at Final Battle. No one home. Scorpio Sky up and around. Beautiful flying head scissor there. And Sky.
Absolutely right, man. Bryan Keith stayed in Texas for over 10 years, honing his craft. He said he didn't want to leave the state until he mastered and knew who he was. And once he left the state, he became a household name.
And right now, he has an opportunity to get the biggest win of his career. He's got to change something up, though, to get momentum on his side. Might have it here. Corner to corner, the big open hand plants Sky.
Sky in a lot of trouble on the outside of the ring. Now Bryan Keith will take his time, gather his wits together.
And Sky sent to the outside in a matchup with a man who made Ring of Honor history. Scorpio Sky, the first man to main event his first final battle. Oh, it came in at the end of December 2017 full time. By the end of the year, he had won and defended 2 championships, defended those tag team titles against the Young Bucks and the Briscoes in an instant classic ladder match at Hammerstein Ballroom.
Smart move right here. Scorpio Sky trying to get on the inside of the ring. On the outside of the ring, I would definitely give the advantage to Bryan Keith. I think Scorpio Sky knows it and trying to get inside the ring, but Keith is making it hard for him. Fighting on the apron is very dangerous.
Look at directly into the camera. Wow, little kung fu there from Bryan Keith. And Keith this Jacksonville faithful. I mean, this intimate environment. I think they were all shocked last week when we saw Okada and Keith, and guys like Keith and Shane Taylor. They know they're going to feel it from the fans. Not afraid to chirp back and still stay on top of their opponents.
That's right. You never know who you're going to see here in Jacksonville. I will say one thing, man. If you haven't TV tapings, champions will be in the house.
Absolutely. Oh! We've seen it both weeks thus far. We're going to see it tomorrow night on YouTube. Look at that. Oh, goodness. It's Keith like hook. Two count only. The 2 vault chance. I can get used to that, Caprice.
Yeah. Saw that aggression in the cover that Bryan Keith took to try to take Scorpio Sky out. Scorpio Sky kicked out. And instead of Bryan Keith getting frustrated, he gathered himself. He gathered his poise and tried to make sure he doesn't rush anything to make any mistakes against this man.
And Keith and Scorpio Sky, one of our great feature bouts this week. It is Keith charging in. Big boot. Things have been boiling between Paid and Full.
Your boy's face is right there, huh?
Ooh. Their associates in the Grizzled Young Vets and Skyflight trying to take their shot, make their mark, maybe get under the skin, get the attention of GYV, of Paid in Full. Paid in Full not taking too kindly, especially after they were paid in full following an 8-man tag team bout a couple of weeks ago right here on ROH. Ooh.
One thing I like about Bryan Keith here, he's intentionally stalking, intentionally being slow, trying not to make the pace quicken in this match to keep it in his favor.
Again, you're right, Caprice. The minute Scorpio Sky tried to ramp up the pace and the speed, it was Keith who found a way to slow it back down.
A smart wrestling there by Bryan Keith, and back on the outside of the ring, I believe, is Bryan Keith's world.
Ooh, those heavy rights, those are just... And Scorpio Sky comes high across the chest. The forearm delivers. Rocking Keith. Keith now staggering. It's Scorpio Sky here.
Smart move by Sky. Get him back inside the ring. Try to win the match. Caught him with that knee. That could be a knockout blow.
Cover. 2. Sky in trouble. 2.5 there.
Keith knew it, man. Keith knew where that knee landed. When you hit somebody, you know when it's a hard shot. And Keith said, hey, I might not get any shot like this any other time in the match. You see right now, Sky is still in trouble.
I like what Keith's doing here, though. He's not leaving the scene. He's staying close. He's gathering his breath close to his opponent. A smart wrestling move there to gather yourself, but to stay close to make sure you still have the advantage.
Stalking intention here, stalking game plan. I think the attitude is catching up. He's stalking and talking junk, and he's frustrating Scorpio Sky.
But it might be rallying Scorpio Sky back up here. Look at the adrenaline.
That's exactly what he's doing. Scorpio had to dig a little deeper, but now he's got a part of Scorpio Sky that I think Bryan Keith wanted. But I don't know if he needs it.
Double stomp by the former Ring of Honor 6-man and tag team champion. Big running leg lift there. Clothesline. Scorpio Sky plants Bryan Keith.
Be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. You got to fire it up Scorpio Sky, Bryan Keith.
And Scorpio Sky high. 1, 2, no. The leader of Skyflight on the precipice, on the doorstep, knocking. Almost has the victory here against the Bounty Hunter.
That face right there, Bryan Keith, is frustration of his own body, wanting his body to do things that it's not capable of doing right now, and all he could do is cover up.
And delivering those right hands. You see Keith, exactly right, Caprice, covering up.
Come on, Sky, keep that pressure on him.
Oh, my goodness. That was a headbutt. That was a headbutt.
Wow, giving up his own skull. The Bounty Hunter, Rock Sky.
The head to the chin will never win. Roll through.
And Sky, you hear Daniels. Wait a minute, Scorpio Sky, TKO. Leg hook, 2, that's it.
The winner of this match, Scorpio Sky.
And Scorpio Sky victorious in a great back and forth bout. paid in full. Certainly has had their issues with Skyflight. The leader of Skyflight stepping up tonight. Christopher Daniels in his corner defeating the bounty hunter. I got to give an assist to, wait a minute.
Turn around.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Turn around.
Oh, no. Big Bill.
I think they still got some,
And GYV.
some bills to pay.
No. Daniels is retired. He's retired. No.
I don't think it matters if you're retired if you're not paid in full.
Oh, Caprice. Daniels has had almost a 3-decade career. He's now Sky. No, Sky's gonna go for a ride. Scorpio Sky almost up into the fixtures. Oh my goodness! Slam from the heavens, the choke slam from Big Bill.
I think some unfinished business is the easiest thing to pick from here. GYV and paid in full have just started a war.
This is working. I know. You'll get what you
Oh, and to steal a line from Eric B. and Rakim, it seems like they're thinking of a master plan, Caprice. As Big Bill just stepping 1 foot over the ropes. Isla Dawn just absorbing all the violence and destruction. That picture is worth 1,000 words.